And Bukavu, Bukavu, Zulu Sierra, Papa Romeo Lima.
Papa Romeo Lima, Bukavu, good morning, boy.
Yes, good morning to you. We're coming to you from Entebbe, level 140. We are Charlie 212 with 4 crew 0 packs. We have 60 nautical miles to run, estimating your field at 0746.
My name's Chris Laidlaw. I'm a bush pilot flying into the Congo. My father flies for British Airways, so I think it's in the blood really. Didn't take me much to get into flying, but then I got in a bit late, got in around about 26 years old, 25, when I kind of knew exactly what I wanted. Came over to Africa, been here for the last 6 years. I mean, I work 12, 13 hours a day here in the bush, loading, unloading. I mean, it is hard work. And I do think, yeah, the stresses and strains take its toll. Yeah, I feel like an old man already. I'm only 32 and I look 40, so, you know.
My name is Patty. I'm from Nova Scotia, but currently I'm flying in the bush in Congo. Well, what led me into flying initially was the fact that my dad was into it as a hobby when I was much younger. He's a physician and he started with aviation and now has switched to golf, but back then we had aviation magazines and they were lying around everywhere, and he had been working on his private pilot license as well, so I was exposed to it early on. Mongwalu, I would guess, is pretty much exactly what you expected. It's jungle, like rainforest. It's a big town, but it is in the middle of the rainforest, and it's just very hilly, and there's, you know, bird song everywhere. It's what you expect. It's muddy, and it's full of guns, and it's, you know, it's fascinating. It really is fascinating.
Hi guys, welcome to Mongwalu. Have you been here before? You do get bad weather, especially in the rainy season. Afternoons, most people will tell you, it gets pretty horrendous. You just either have to hold out from the strip, or if it's a tight strip, that some of these strips either grass or clay, and they get either extremely slippery. So yeah, that's when experience comes in. You have to be quite careful when you go into, especially if it's only 600 meters or so, you have to be careful when you go into these strips. And it doesn't take much to slide off the side. So, but yeah, accidents, a lot of accidents happen per year. But then I'm sure they happen everywhere else. You know, planes in bad weather usually go into side of hills, etc. Yeah, you get a couple that are shot down, but you know, that's quite rare. So if I went down the Congo, the chance of me coming out are pretty slim, because I'll either get put in prison or I'll be held by some village or something. You know, it's not guaranteed unless I've got, you know, money to get me out.
Mazuri kabisa.
That area is very unstable. It has been kind of caught in the crossfires, essentially. It's situated on a big gold reserve, and it always, you know, obviously it always has been, but they've always known about it, and because of that, it's always been you know, fought over by not just multinationals in other countries, but also by the local militias. So the people there are caught in the crossfire, so they just to see it is fascinating, because you can't understand the feel, the vibe of it until you're actually there, or you understand a little bit of what's happened over the past, even just 5 years. The people don't really have an incentive to lay down permanent roots. I mean, they've been living there for generations, but it just always feels like everything's temporary, you know, because I never know when it's all going to erupt again, and there's no reason in the world why it won't.
Okay, see you, buddy. Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot.
I am weary. I'm very tired. As you've seen recently, that we are responsible for all of the freight, both logistics and everything, and that's about 2 jobs too many. And so, you know, our days just get extended up to about 12, 14 hours, and you know, seven days a week. Over time, it's exhausting, and you know, the clock starts to tick once you start doing this. I've got to get out soon, as I'm just I'm too weary for a man of my age, I think. But it's fun, that's for sure.